Okay, today we are going to learn how to use the expression, why don't? Let's start, though, by revising how to use why and because. We already studied how to use these two words in Unit 22. Remember that we use why in questions and because in answers. Let's see some examples. Why are you in bed? Because I'm not feeling well. Why are you drinking water? Because I don't like wine. Why is she crying? Because her dog is ill. Why are they in Paris? Because they're studying French art. All these examples are affirmative questions, but you can also make negative questions. Take a look. Why aren't you watching the film? Because it's too violent. Making negative questions is not complicated in spoken English. You just need to use the auxiliary in the negative contracted form. Now, let's look at why don't to make suggestions. To make suggestions when you yourself are included, you can use the word why combined with the word don't, which is the contraction of do not, and the first person plural we. Look at these examples. Why don't we go to the cinema? Why don't we have dinner at home tonight? Why don't we go to London for our holiday? Remember that in order to form questions in English, we put a question word and an auxiliary before the subject. Let's see more examples. Why don't we go another day? Why don't we go for a pizza? Why don't we get married? Why don't we change the time of the meeting? We also use why don't to give advice. We can also use why don't to give advice. In this case, we use the second person you. Look at these examples. Why don't you ask her? Why don't you see a dentist? Why don't you relax and forget about it? Why don't you apologize? Why don't you talk seriously? Why don't you wait until tomorrow? It's easy, isn't it?